Red V TV, following Saints' 36-18 victory in the 6th round of the Challenge Cup. And what a difference 12 months make.
Absolutely, mate. I mean, we're never in any danger of getting beat, though, were we? Not a chance.
I completely agree with that. I can't disagree with anything, though.
Opening 15-20 minutes, bit of to and fro, no points scored, and essentially 2 pieces of brilliance in the first half off the back of Cass kicks, who probably they kicked to Regan Grace's corner. Obviously targeted him after last week, and Regan Grace tremendous today, but then Ben Barber hands one off to him for Grace to go the length and then does it himself. Yeah,
to be honest, I thought it was tight. I thought we looked a little bit flat at first. I thought it was 2 good teams just literally cancelling each other out. And yeah, it took 2 length of the field efforts to kind of put us on the board. But you know what, as you say, I don't think we looked in danger. I think our defence held out well, especially in the first 15-20 minutes. But I don't think they brought much to the board. I think they struggled with the players that they're missing.
Did you feel with the players Cass were missing, it was a mistake to maybe change the team around as they did, and the players that they still had available all seemed to play out of position?
I'd have thought they'd have played Truman at fullback rather than Shenton. I know we played Percival at fullback against Leeds a couple of years ago, and he was brilliant there, and it almost looked like that could be Percival's better position. But for Castleford, I'd have stuck with him at fullback and played Shenton in his proper position.
He scored a great try in the second half when he came on, didn't he?
Yeah. So why has he not started?
Saints 12-0 up at half-time, on the board first in the second, and as you say, Dean, never in any doubt?
I don't think so, no. I mean, like first half, I thought it was, to be honest, I thought it was pretty 2 even kind of sides, and we just 2 bits of individual brilliance that put us in front. But saying that, I never had a doubt in my mind that we were going to win the game.
Jay, Red V debut coming on.
Debut here. Bottom you top for it and everything.
We were looking at the Saints Seattle Seahawks summer training wear as modelled by Jay, and now available in the club shop. That's what a real man looks like wearing it.
Sexy.
Too sexy.
Ben Barber. That performance, is that possibly one of the best single performances, individual performances that you've seen a Saints player having a shirt? He was just everywhere in everything that we did.
Aye, especially when he's only in first gear.
Yeah, first half he looked injured. After every time he had possession of the ball, we were saying on the radio commentary, it was like a kid on a playground. Only comes alive when the ball comes near him. In between, just pretends he's injured and false sense of security. But
what's the problem with that though? What's the problem with a fullback just getting involved when
having a little stretch? But yeah, he took a knock in probably the first tackle he had, and lesser players might have gone off, but it was just absolutely fantastic. Even the Cass fans in front of us were eventually applauding him. And when we come back here a week on Thursday, I believe the Cass shop are going to have, we've seen Ben Barber live t-shirts available in the shop.
You're just asking for trouble.
You're just asking
for trouble.
You're just asking for thumbs down.
No, it's not that. You're asking for trouble. You're asking for
somebody to clean him out.
No, something to happen on the pitch that he doesn't play next Thursday. Listen, that's a great.
No, they've already seen him. You don't need to see him again.
That's a great performance by someone who, when they grace these shows, turn up and watch it. And it sounds like a cliche. He's such a great player, and I think I tweeted out on the Red V account that arguably he's the best player, and Justin Holbrook is arguably the best coach.
I don't think it's arguable.
No, it's arguably the best we've seen, because you can argue.
Oh, you mean all time?
No, a Super League era. And people turn around and said you can't say that.
You can't.
Can you not? I mean, you watch that today. He chimes in when he wants, and when he wants, it matters.
Every week.
And I was saying in the pub as well beforehand that a lot of people go on about Jamie Lyon, how good an impact he had when he was here. I mean,
it wasn't every week, every play though, was it?
When Ben Barber leaves the club, you've got to think that people will be just, thinking that he's even better. It's just ridiculous.
You'd be hoping that the club are doing due diligence on a fullback now, because if he leaves at the end of this season, Like, I'd say 80%, 90% of Saints fans are expecting him to leave at the end of the season.
And anything else is a bonus, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So you'd almost hope that Saints are doing due diligence on a fullback. And we know who we'd want to bring in, if they're available, to replace him. I tell you what, try replace him.
Can you?
Try replace him.
It's going to be hard, isn't it?
magical.
But on saying that, did we replace Jamie Lyon? We had Matt Gidley. He was probably half a step down. Half a step's not bad, is it?
2 more games for hopefully a Wembley appearance. It's a nap that will get Leeds or Wigan away or someone in the next round, isn't it?
Oh, without a doubt, innit? You know what I mean?
We don't do it the easy way in this cup.
Does it matter? Does it matter?
I think
We'll see what happens.
And do you know what?
The heat in the balls.
I made a pretty big call in the car on the way up, and I said if we don't win the lot this season, I'd be disappointed.
I wouldn't.
I don't think I would, but you know,
I would be disappointed
think
because of the quality of that team that we're watching out there. They
there is a
deserve
good
to win it all
chance
at this point.
But you come up against a team who's also in form, and
Well,
Super League isn't at the same rate that it was in the late 90s, where you could turn around and say there's 3 or 4 teams who could win it. It's not at that rate. So if we don't win the Challenge Cup, so be it. I want to win the Challenge Cup. I'm not about if we win the Challenge Cup, which absolutely
At this moment in time, straw poll for the 3 of you. Which of the trophies, Challenge Cup or Grand Final, would you want to win this season? If you had to pick one.
Grand Final for me any day. That's the big one.
Even after 10 years away from
yeah,
Wembley?
absolutely, yeah.
I'll be happy with one of it, either one of them.
It's
I'll be happy if we won the Challenge Cup and not the Grand Final. Don't get me wrong, but if you had to choose between the two, I'd pick the Grand Final any day. That is the bigger one for me.
For me, if I said to you name the last 5 champions of Super League, you'd probably be able to do it. If I asked you to name
Leeds.
all Leeds, aren't we? Mott.
Usually, I would say the Challenge Cup, but I think the team that we're seeing out there needs to go on. I'm not bothered about the League Leaders Shield. I know the club are.
£100,000.
Because it's £100,000
prize money.
I don't care.
Jay, you still here?
I'm still here. I'm not at work, but I'm here.
What do you want to win?
Well, the Grand Final mainly. I'll be happy if it's just the Grand Challenge Cup.
Sorry, both of them. Not bothered about League Leaders Shield, both.
Yeah,
Who wants to win a hubcap?
It'll look after itself.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter, does it?
And you know what? After
Castleford.
that, let's be the best rugby league team in the world, even if we're playing in a friendly. And while we're stood underneath a rotting sign at Castleford.
Let's play St George Illawarra in the World Cup Challenge and all that.
Saints versus Saints.
Playing white with a blue V.
Blue V.
So, as you can see, if you look back through our videos from last season, and I think if you look at our cast performance, you'll see us very, very disappointed. This week, ecstatic, because that seagull has avoided me.
Oh no, I'm not happy with that.
Lastly, Tommy Makinson.
Don't.
Anybody who saw our tweet pre-match and got on it will be very disappointed in young Thomas. Nailed on first try next week, nailed on, like he did last time he let us down. So, hey ho, Thomas, our bank balances are a lot lighter because of you. To be fair, he never really got a sniff, did he?
No, he didn't.
All the play went left today.
At the end of the day, a win's a win, isn't it?
And he did.
Not for us, it wasn't.
He did what he needed to. He brought the ball away well, as he does. He's probably in the shout for England, isn't he?
Yeah,
with whatever he does.
He's probably the informed. If it's based on informed wingers, it's Tommy Makinson's job to lose, isn't
wasn't
it?
going to his wing on
Regan Grace, I touched on it at the start, but he had a lot of detractors after the performance last week. I didn't think he was that bad. He made a couple of errors, but came back really, really strong today and did everything that was asked of him.
Well, we questioned whether he would be dropped in the case of Adam Swift and brought Swift back in. And
fully justified his position.
I tell you what, when was the last Saints winger who went 95 metres?
Well, on that pitch, 80 on that small pitch.
Probably
you couldn't go with.
Probably somebody like Anthony
I could.
Sullivan. You know,
not that pace, but I could.
Or Darren Albert, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd have lost that with Adam Swift if he played this. He would have finished that off as well.
But nonetheless, he had to finish it.
And he did.
He had to finish it. And we were on about it in the stands that
He didn't put a foot wrong today.
Yeah,
The Ingress, he didn't.
And they targeted him, and he's got to go and do the job that's put in front of him. Yeah. He's had the ball put up in the air quite a few times towards him.
He got targeted and didn't let us down on him.
And he's taken the ball out wide, and that's where Justin Holbrook is right in letting players play through. Whether it be a bit of a dip in form, whether it be a bit of dodgy form, that's where Holbrook is right to kind of let players go through it. And you know what? I bet if it lasted 4 or 5 games, Holbrook could take out the firing line and just let him have a bit of a rest. But it's not. It's lasted 80 minutes of a slightly questionable performance, and he's gone and thrown that one in today.
Magic next week.
Yep.
Saints have got the bye.
Don't say that. We're playing Widnes. They're going to terrible Widnes, and they're going to beat us now. Now you've said that.
Never a bye.
We won't. Saints have got a chance to stretch probably the lead at the top of the table. Wigan playing Warrington, Leeds playing Castle. Teams will drop points there. And Dennis Betts made the mistake of saying last night when they only had 1,800 on at Widnes, if you want to see a winning team every week, you better go somewhere else. Well, guess what? We're only 2 miles down the road. Right, like, share and subscribe, and we will see you at Newcastle next week for Red V TV. Au revoir.